album that I heard you say there was I can't remember the name of the song where you talk about we wrote all our stuff, all our hits. I don't There was a song you guys were singing on that.
You said on the fourth album, it's called Every Day, which I don't even want to talk about.
Okay.
That has like because that doesn't because at the end of the day, you know, let's just say this, like there were certain things that were happening when I would say you can't just look at the labels or whatever, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff that needs to be handled starts from the inside too. So there were a lot of things that was going on in the group that, you know what I mean, that should have been addressed long time ago. And a lot of times when you are listening, you are everybody out there in the world, the millions of people that supports 112, you're growing with us and you're watching us. In effect, it's almost like a reality show, but we're doing it through song. Our whole lives are out there. So just like the successes, there are some mishaps that pop too. And you all are probably scratching your heads like, man. And you know, the great thing about our situation was the fact that there was no social media. Thank God. So, you know what I mean? That, you know, so there are a lot of things that, you know, at our times we could substitute or mask with success, musical success. But that, you know, but that being said, on certain albums, sometimes the writing was on the wall right there in front of y'all in albums. So, you know, that particular record, you know what I'm saying, don't define all everybody. It just what I say, like at the end of the day, fourth album was what it was. 112, the brand adjusted. And on the fifth album, you now see another platinum top, you know what I'm saying? Another platinum album on your fifth album at that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now name groups that can say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and have those type of situations. So this is a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, most groups don't get to do 3 albums, not to talk of 5 and 6 and stuff like that. We talked earlier about mental health, and I wonder when your first time getting dropped or leaving or parting companies with Def Jam, how was that on you guys as a foursome, having to be told, yeah, we're parting companies? Because I think we always have to be aware that it's not just the fact that the groups aren't selling, it's the fact that the industry had shifted to invest in hip hop. So they were spending a lot more on hip hop, and R&B was across the board was being squeezed out. But for Def Jam to say, guys, you know, we're not going to go win the third album, well, what was that like on you guys?
Sure, it was traumatic, man. Like I would attest it to being similar to an athlete who was signed to, you know, a certain city for years, and then they've been told that they've been traded, you know what I'm saying, to another team, or they've been dropped, or they've been cut to another team. Like you put your heart and your soul into whatever it is. Like when we moved to Def Jam, we were Def Jam at that point. You know, you couldn't tell us nothing. We were Def Jam for life. You know what I'm saying? It was like just like where we were with Bad Boy. It was Bad Boy for life. Then we moved to Def Jam. You know, we was all dedicated to Def Jam as well. So, you know, once they gave us the word that, you know, they were no longer looking to partner with 112, it was hard. It was bittersweet. You know, on the one hand, they let us go without us owing anything, or you know, us having to repay anything, like things of that nature or anything. So yeah, they just let us go free, you know, free and easy. But at the same time, we were left at a point where, you know, they felt like 112 was on a decline. So, you know, not a lot of record labels was filling 112 at that point as far as that goes. So, you know, we could have easily gone out, you know, our own way, went independent, created our own records or whatever, so forth and so on. But prior to that, man, you know, that's the bitter and that's the sweet of it. It's like we was able to etch out our own, you know, our own legacy and our own career how we wanted to. However, all of us weren't of the same mind frame when it came to that. You know what I mean? So and 112 at that time, you had to be a unit of 4 in order to move forward with anything. If you had one person that felt this way and 3 other people felt another way, then it wasn't gonna work. Or 2 people feeling one way, 2 people feeling another way, it just wasn't gonna work. You know what I mean? And so as far as that business aspect was concerned, so it was definitely a trying time for us, and it did not feel good initially when we were told that we were no longer wanted or we were no longer needed, you know, on a major record label, whatever. So yeah, no, it was bittersweet, man. It was good. The good of it was we were able to etch out our own legacy at that point, but the bad of it was now that we were dropped by Def Jam, the stigma of being dropped by a label was always going to be there. So of course, in the music industry, everything is word of mouth. So if Def Jam let us go, then that means Atlantic heard that we would let go. Jive that was heard that we would let go. So Def was heard that we would let go. The Face was heard that we was let go. Arista was heard that we had let go. And so the question, what's the reason why Def Jam let them go? Are they no good? Can they not sell records? Can they do that? And that's that stigma that comes along with it too, man. So we had to navigate through all of that.
Yeah. When Michael left Boyz II Men, it took us a long time to adjust to the three of them. But because vocally they were very distinct in vocally, we've sort of adapted to the three of them as it is. But the same thing happened when Dawn left En Vogue. I think it really affected their third album because she was, she sang lead on that Don't Let Go, and then she leaves when they're about to come out their third album. When you guys go on tour, from a lot of us knowing 112 as four guys harmonizing and performing, how did you guys adapt and adjust to just the two of you guys instead of the four, and what was the initial response from the fans?
The initial reaction from the fans was confusion at first, because they were trying to figure out who these other two dudes that we had on stage with us were, and they were our dancers. You know what I mean? And, we had a lot of debate about whether or not we should put microphones in their hands and all this other stuff. And Slim and I just said, no, man, listen, we're the singers. We are 112. These guys are our background dancers. And we got to make sure that that's known, that that's what's going on right now, and not that we're trying to replace anybody in 112, because we do understand that, like, regardless of whether or not these guys are in the group or not, those other former members or not, we understand that people remember 112 and people have fond memories of it being a four-man group. So it would have done a disservice to us to try to reinvent that. You know what I mean? So rather than us do that, we just said, look, take the microphones out of these dudes' hands and let them be dancers, because that's exactly who they are. We're the ones singing the songs. We're gonna, I'm gonna occasionally dance, Slim gonna occasionally dance, but for the most part, them dudes are background dancers. You know what I mean? Let them be dancers. Me and Slim will sing the leads, and that will be the new dynamic that is 112. You'll still have the 112 sound because I did a lot of the background, Slim did a lot of the leads, and you're still gonna get that same sound, but it's an adjustment period for everybody. I mean, nobody feels more disappointed in how everything went down than Slim and myself. You know what I mean? Because we understand, not even for a personal standpoint, but from a business standpoint, what it meant for us to go out as a duo versus going out as a quartet. Now, there have been situations where we could have added known name artists, huge solo artists that were dying to be in 112, but we decided against that. At the time, because our mindset was we need to establish to the world that 112, regardless if there's one, there's two, there's four, there's 15 people that's in the group, that you're still going to get the same sound, you're still going to get the same kind of energy that you would and if it was the original four-man group, which is another reason why 112 came out with the EP.
Yeah. Does the fans will always hope, they talk about Guy, Timmy Gatlin joining Teddy and all that coming back. They always hope. And you guys, if you've known each other since the early 90s or late 80s, you guys have gone through thick and thin. Is there ever, regardless of music, on a human level, are you guys just cordial? If you see each other on the street, do you walk past, or would you give a high five, what's going on and stuff outside of business, just human beings as people that you've grown up with. Okay.
So, you know, I can't speak for Slim yet, but I haven't spoken to them dudes in like over 3 years. So,
I mean, the last time I seen him was in court, and you know, let's just say, you know, let's concentrate on the we's, us, and ours, and you know, what I'm saying the 112, like the brand.
When you guys, and I saw on your Instagram, the 112 Instagram account, and it says we can't wait for you guys to for us to do this live show again. But I saw 4 guys all dressed the same, dancing and before the performance, and I was like, wow, was this an old footage, or was it the 2 of you guys with your background dancers wearing the same outfits?
it was the 2 of us and the 2 dancers.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's you know, honestly, that's how we've been able to get away with it initially, and you know, but now we're at a point now where we're telling everybody, hey, listen, this is the new 112. You know what I'm saying? You can either love it or you can, you know, you can not love it or whatever. But this is how we're moving forward. Now, for the last 3 years, you've been loving our new EP. You've been loving the performance. You've been coming out to the shows, and now all of a sudden that you realize that it's not the 2 original members that's in the background. Now you don't like us or whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, that's more of a reflection on who you are as a person versus, you know, what we're doing as people. What we're trying to do is keep the legacy going. What we are doing, I'm sorry, what we're doing is keeping the legacy going and providing for our families. We still got kids. We still got, you know, responsibilities and stuff. Am I supposed to not, you know, take care of my kids because 112 ain't built the same way that you remember? No, it doesn't happen like life doesn't happen like that. So we're gonna continue making moves, and at the end of the day, as long as you still get the 112 sound, you still get the 112 vibe as far as the shows are concerned or whatever, then what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like who's behind me and Slim, you know what I'm saying, dancing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because hell, he and I were doing the majority of the singing any damn way.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.